Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Lance with One Too Many Hobbies, and in today's video, we're diving into one of those hobbies. It's poker night this weekend at my house. As you can tell behind me, the pop-up camper is in front of the house. I pulled it out of the garage, cleared everything out, got down the poker tables, and getting ready to host poker tomorrow night. But before I do that, I want to do a couple upgrades to my poker table that I built a few years ago. And the first thing that I want to do is install this drawer that I got off Amazon. I'll have the links down below. And it's just a metal drawer. And this will just make life a little bit easier when distributing rebuy chips or when I'm hosting the cash table, distributing poker chips for cash, obviously. So right now, my current setup, I have to get up wherever I'm sitting in the garage, walk over to my drawer, unlock the drawer, pull out those rebuys or pull out the cash chips. So just kind of a nuisance. I've had some errors happen and I'm just trying to streamline it to eliminate those from happening. In order to install this, I've got to take apart my poker table. When I built this a few years ago, it's held together with lag bolts and anchors, so it's pretty easy, but I decided to go ahead and upgrade my felt while doing so, and I kind of splurged. I should have done this from the very beginning when I built the poker table, but I didn't. So I splurged, like I said. I went with a Chan Man custom felt. Tony over there hooked me up with a cool design similar to what I have. Worked on some revisions back and forth, but Tony over at Poker Chip Forum hooked me up. Highly recommend that. I'll update the process, how that communication went later in the video. So before I tear this down, I want to kind of show you guys an example. Like I said, I'm really flicking these things to get it across. You really have to be light on your fingers to get it across. On the speed felt from Chan Man, Tony did a good job sourcing the material. You really just gotta flick it like this and it will literally make it all the way across. You literally can do this and it will go all the way across. And you can see this thing's not getting across. As the body heat, especially in the summers here in Texas, as it gets a little humid in here, not uncomfortable, but a little humid with the body heat, 30 people in my garage, this thing just sticks. And so your average player just can't deal. I'm a decent dealer, so I can flick it around pretty good, but they struggle to get it across. But I'm looking forward to it, man. Let's break it down. All right, all the bolts are out. Should be able to, hasn't moved in a couple years, so it might be a little sticky. There it goes. Side's a little sticky. Nope. So I just took off the railing, obviously, and then there's this middle piece right here that kind of pinches the playing surface and the railing together, and it also holds the plexiglass for the raised rail. But again, it's just these little inserts, which makes it nice and easy. And the one thing that I am kind of curious about is I put a little bit of 3M spray adhesive on the playing felt, and I'm hoping I can pull that off without it just damaging the padding underneath the playing surface. So that's my only concern on this kind of renovation of the poker table. Not bad. And again, all the bolts are taken out, so this is technically loose. So, I mean, just push that down. This might come out easier now. Oh yeah. See, just comes off and like that. And then there's the playing surface. This should move. Yep, there it goes. All right, so there she is. And if you're building poker tables or have anything to do with staples, you gotta get one of these. I'll leave a link down below. It's just a staple remover. It's like a lifesaver. Two more. Last one. I'm telling you, this tool, I don't know how you don't do it without it, man. So now I just gotta go through it and pull them out with the needle nose. I basically pry it open with that thing and then come back so they don't go flying on the ground, but this was not a fun job, I'll be honest. I have been pulling this back and it is sticking a little bit, but nothing too bad. And I'll show you here in a minute of my setup. I actually double foamed this thing. I went with the denser foam and then I went with the pink foam as well. And I put the pink foam the mesh backing on top, which I think really helped here because it's not, you know, there's a little bit of tack on here. And again, I just missed it. I'll show you, we're gonna install the new felt and I'll show you how I did it, but just a little bit of mist and it really, it's probably just perfect. I might not even need any more. Not bad. Got a little bit of tack there. I may or may not have to use a little bit more spray adhesive. I am gonna have to sand this down, this hardy board. And the reason why I use the hard board on the edge of the padding is because this butts up next to the acrylic raised arm pad. And by having that hardy board there, it creates a nice sharp 90-degree edge. Otherwise, you'd have a rounded over corner going into the plexiglass and just a place for a bunch of junk and stuff to get caught up in there. All right, let's get this bad boy installed. I'm just gonna center it up, mark the corners for reference, but more than anything, I'm just gonna pull it back and I'm going to mark these holes. So here's a quick tip to try to prevent blowout. Take a piece of tape, you have to eyeball it, but stick it on the bottom. This should help prevent the blowout of the plywood from splintering. And all I'm doing here is taking a Forstner bit and using it where I can countersink this so it's flush with the table. All right. So I'm screwing this in here just so I can countersink it below the Forstner bit depth. Looks pretty good there. Once you pull them in from the bottom too, they should get snug. See what it looks like. Looks pretty good. It's gonna be nice. Put my rebuy chips, my cash, all my cash game chips. That's got a lock on it, so that's gonna be nice. Now I did have to sacrifice a little leg room, but you know, you start weighing the pros and cons. I'd rather kind of lose a little bit of leg room. Normally I would sit in this chair and I like to be real high. You know, being real high, I can really see the poker table, move chips around, pull cards around here. So obviously I can't do that. I mean, I can by leaning over. So I'm gonna come down a little bit and I think this is fine. It really is. And then when I need to pull chips out, bam, it's right there. Low profile. I've got some chip racks that I ordered that are low profile that will work, and I'll just leave them in here all the time. So I'm super happy with that. So I just threw some chips in the drawer to see how it works. I did have to go with the Apache poker chips. These are the 43 millimeter cases that close together, and I'm using them individually just to have something in here. I did throw one of these like drawer mats for your pots and pans or your bowls and plates in the kitchen. It keeps them from sliding around, which is nice. So I can hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 racks of chips, which is plenty for cash. I only need probably 2 of these for rebuys for the tournament, but I'll be able to put about $4,200 worth of chip value in the drawer. I'll be able to pull from it if someone wants to, you know, add on 100 or 2. Again, it will 100% completely eliminate me having to get up, walk over to the drawer, unlock the drawer, and pull out the chips, come back. So now I can sit right here, play the tournament. I got good visibility on the tables. If I need to consolidate a table, if I need to get a rebuy, I'll pull out a rebuy stack and give me the 80 bucks and we're off to the races. I'm pumped about this, guys. All right. Man, this thing's heavy. The wife just said she's done ironing up the new felt. So go inside and grab that. Well, that just took a long time, like an hour. I'm not kidding. Because there's a little bit of that 3M Universal 77 adhesive still left on there from the previous felt, it made it extremely difficult to slightly maneuver the cloth of the felt to get it aligned. And I'm at a point now where, I mean, I'm basically happy with it. At this point, it's not gonna be perfect, but as long as it looks good from the eye and nothing's wavy, I'm okay with it. I just can't move it, you know, 1/8 of an inch like you normally would. Take this, and we're gonna roll it back. Just kind of crazy, but that's what we're gonna do. So just pick this up from Home Depot. It's 3M Super 77. It's just a multi-purpose adhesive. Again, we're gonna do a light spray. That tack up just a little bit. And that's good to go. Sure, it's got a nice lay on there. And then what I'm trying to do here is make sure this bedding line has got a good taut line to it. And you just want the felt to naturally lay over. You don't want to pull on it. Let it naturally lay over. Start pulling on it, your design will have a wave in it, so. See. Just go around and cut her out. Can't wait to throw some cards on this bad boy. Well, there we go. Whew. That's a sick looking table. All right, just grab the cards. Time to do our first test with the new felt. I like it. The design's a little bit different, but kind of the same. And I'm not even gonna tell my players tomorrow. I'm gonna see if any of the average dealers or anybody that I play with quite a bit can tell the difference. Like I said, the design's pretty much the same. I mean, it's just ice hockey. So we'll see tomorrow night if anybody notices. And we'll see if the game speeds up a little bit, because people can actually slide the cards across. So pretty stoked about it. It looks good. Well, we're done. That was a good project. Installing the felt was harder than I thought, and that's because I had the excess residue from the 3M adhesive from the previous felt. So if I didn't have that, I think it would have been faster, but it was a challenge to very slightly manipulate or move the felt to get it aligned. I'm stoked with the chip tray, whatever you want to call it. It's a metal tray off Amazon. I thought about building one, but for 70 bucks and it's done, shipped, 2-day shipping. You can't go wrong with that. So overall, I'm stoked with this new felt and the drawer. I do want to be transparent. If you are looking into going through Tony at Chanman for custom felt, it is not a speedy process. Tony's a one-man shop. He's building poker tables, he's doing custom art, he's doing the print shop. He just got a bunch of new equipment with a CNC and a bunch of table saws and stuff. I think he's doing poker tournaments as well. So just know going into that, it takes a good 2 months minimum, in my opinion. The 2 hours of design time flies by. It's gonna be about 8, maybe 10 emails back and forth, a couple of revisions, and it was done. I was kind of shocked on that. Ask him to do a 2-hour Zoom call. If he can find a 2-hour window and you and him can go back and forth, have him share his screen and get it knocked out. That's what I would recommend. That's what I'd recommend Tony to offer to his clients. That way the process isn't drawn out. It's 2 hours to be done. So If you can't do that, get a third party or a friend that has the software to create the design. But overall, I'm pumped. Thanks for watching on this one. It's a kind of a unique one in the poker hobby. One of my one too many hobbies, as I like to say. But stick around, subscribe. I'm gonna do a breakdown on how I manage and run my poker tournaments, my poker night. I'll do a breakdown on my blind structure, how I draw seats and whatnot, all my chip breakdowns and whatnot too in the future videos. So subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. I'm all in.